So picture this scenario, right? You've spent, I don't know, maybe the last 3 years building up a digital business.
Oh, yeah. Pouring your absolute soul into it.
Exactly. You're creating content, you finally got a solid routine down, and you are actually seeing a steady stream of leads coming in from whatever your main social media platform
The
is.
best feeling in the world.
Right. But then you wake up on like one random Tuesday, you check your analytics, and that traffic line has just completely flatlined.
Oh, no.
It is effectively at zero. And the crazy thing is, you haven't done anything wrong.
Right. The platform just updated its algorithm overnight.
Exactly. Suddenly the format you use is dead. Your reach is throttled, and you are completely invisible. And that visceral, stomach-dropping panic, that is a reality for almost anyone trying to build a brand or, recruit a team online today.
Yeah, it really is the defining friction of the modern digital economy. I mean, we're operating in an era of unprecedented connectivity, but actually capturing attention usually requires this exhausting manual pursuit.
So much chasing.
Yes. The creator or the seller is constantly the one initiating contact, which means you're operating from a position of low leverage. You are basically a digital door-to-door salesperson.
Sending those incredibly awkward automated messages that start with, like, hey, insert first name here.
Right, and basically begging an opaque algorithm for permission to just be seen. And that manual hustle isn't just inefficient, it carries a massive psychological toll.
Which brings us perfectly to the core mission for today's deep dive. For you listening, whether you're, say, trying to scale a startup, grow a freelance business, or build out a team, we're unpacking a really specific blueprint today that claims to completely reverse that dynamic.
Yeah, this is a fascinating one.
We're looking at a single source document today. It's this intricate, highly detailed infographic mapping out a system called ClickShare AI.
Right.
And right in the center of this document is this massive, bold banner. It's basically their core thesis. And it says, quote, you don't chase people, you build a platform that attracts them.
It's a huge promise.
It really is. Okay, so let's unpack this. If we're going to look at how this system actually functions, we really have to start by understanding how it proposes getting you off that algorithm treadmill entirely.
Well, the foundational shift here, based on the document, is about migrating from chaos to absolute control.
Okay, what does that look like?
So the document proposes abandoning the decentralized, algorithm-dependent digital presence. Instead of having your professional identity scattered across 5 different apps, the system requires building a centralized trust machine, as they frame it.
A trust machine. I like that.
Yeah. The infographic lays this out as step 1 and 2. Creating a highly specific digital home. It's a single profile that houses your bio, your opportunity, your contact links, and your content. So videos, posts, event schedules, all in one consolidated space.
Yeah, the document really hammers on that phrase, all your content, all in one place. But the real hook to me isn't just about organizing your links. It's the language they use to describe the ownership of this space.
Right, the bottom pillars.
Exactly. They highlight these 2 foundational pillars at the bottom of the system. You own it, which they define as your data and your future, and you control it, which is explicitly defined as having no algorithms and no restrictions.
Which is huge for anyone who's ever been shadow banned or throttled.
Oh, totally. We often talk about the internet using real estate metaphors, right? Like the difference between buying land and renting an apartment. But being on social media isn't even renting an apartment. It's like setting up a folding table inside a massive, chaotic shopping mall where the landlord is a robot.
That is a great way to put it.
Right. And that robot landlord can just move your table to the basement, or change the foot traffic patterns, or suddenly decide that tables are banned entirely and only kiosks are allowed.
And that shopping mall analogy perfectly captures the profound algorithm fatigue that modern internet users are dealing with. I mean, when your livelihood depends on a platform you do not control, you are living in a constant state of low-level anxiety.
Always waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Exactly. So by anchoring the ClickShare AI system on those pillars of ownership and zero restrictions, the document isn't just selling a marketing tool, it's actually selling psychological relief.
Wow, yeah, that's a good point.
The system offers a controlled environment where you dictate the architecture, you set the rules of engagement.
So having that level of control sounds ideal. You build the structure, you own the landlord can't evict you, but owning a piece of digital real estate doesn't automatically mean anyone's going to actually trust you when they walk through the front door.
No, definitely not.
Right. So if we're moving away from familiar third-party platforms, we have to talk about credibility. And the document outlines a strategy for this that I honestly found genuinely surprising. It really challenges conventional digital marketing wisdom.
Ah, you're looking at the directive on how they handle social proof and reviews.
Yes. Okay, so the system dictates that you collect reviews and stories from your team members and customers, but you host them entirely on your own profile.
Right. Not on Yelp, not on Trustpilot.
Exactly. The text explicitly warns against using third-party sites. And they even provide this specific volume metric to aim for. The document states that 10 reviews builds trust, 100 builds credibility, and 500 or more builds authority.
It's very specific.
But wait, let's pause and really look at the mechanics of this, because here's where it gets really interesting. If I land on a platform that you own, and you are hosting all of your own reviews, how do I know any of them are authentic?
Right, that's the natural objection.
Yeah. Isn't the entire premise of independent review sites to provide objective, verified proof that the business owner can't manipulate? If you're keeping all the testimonials in-house, aren't you essentially grading your own homework? Why would a visitor ever trust that?
Well, the document frames this under the header: your platform, your reviews, your brand. And that intentional move away from independent verification is actually a defensive strategy.
Defensive, how so?
So when you host your reviews on an independent site, you introduce chaos into your sales funnel. Think about it. A competitor can easily execute a negative SEO attack by spamming you with fake one-star reviews.
Oh, right. That happens all the time.
Or a confused customer might leave a terrible rating just because they misunderstood the shipping policy, right? And then you have to fight this exhausting bureaucratic battle with the platform to try and get it removed.
So true.
By bringing the social proof entirely in-house, the ClickShare system eliminates the risk of narrative sabotage. You control what gets seen.
Okay, that makes sense from a defensive standpoint. You are protecting the asset. But it still doesn't explain how you overcome the inherent skepticism of the visitor. Because, I would just assume you deleted all the bad reviews.
Right, and the system overcomes that skepticism through sheer, overwhelming volume. That is exactly why the document specifies those escalating metrics, pushing users to aim for 100 or even 500 plus reviews.
500.
Yeah, because human psychology handles small numbers and large numbers very differently. If you land on a page and see, say, 3 glowing 5-star reviews hosted by the creator, your critical thinking engages. You question their authenticity immediately.
Yeah, it'd be like, okay, that's their mom, their brother, and their best friend.
Exactly. But if you land on a page and you have to literally scroll through 500 deeply detailed positive reviews, video testimonials, and success stories, your brain physically struggles to maintain that level of skepticism.
It's just too much information to fight.
Exactly. The sheer mass of the social proof creates cognitive overload. The volume acts as a protective moat around the brand. The fact that the reviews lack independent verification stops mattering to the user because the chorus of positive voices is simply too loud to ignore.
Wow. It creates a reality distortion field. You essentially wallpaper the entire digital house with glowing testimonials until the visitor's skepticism just exhausts itself.
That's a perfect way to describe it.
But, okay, we're still missing a massive piece of the puzzle here. We have the owned digital real estate. We have the impenetrable moat of in-house trust. How do people actually find this place?
Right, getting them in the door.
Yeah. Because if the whole promise is that we are no longer chasing leads or sending cold pitches, how are strangers arriving at our doorstep in the first place?
Well, this is where the document details its engine of visibility. It relies on a concept they call the one-link philosophy.
Right.
The instruction is to share one single link across all your communications. So your text messages, your email signatures, your social media bios.
And the promise attached to this simple action is what bridges the gap to organic discovery.
Yeah.
Because the text says, quote, one link, endless reach.
Yes.
And then it makes this massive leap. It claims that by using this profile, your content is automatically indexed by search engines and lifted in online directories. It promises that people will search for solutions and discover you through organic search 24 hours a day, specifically noting that this all happens without relying on paid advertising.
It summarizes this as organic traffic that keeps growing.
Yeah, but that leap is massive.
Yeah.
Anyone listening knows that getting organic traffic from a search engine is not as simple as just dropping a link in your email signature.
No, absolutely not.
Search engine optimization is a highly complex, highly technical field. People spend years learning how to structure metadata, format schema markup, and build backlinks just to get one single web page to rank for a competitive keyword. How does a single, centralized profile suddenly turn a regular user into an organic search powerhouse without them having to learn any of that technical architecture?
It's a great question. And the document addresses this gap by abstracting the complexity away from the user entirely.
Okay, now,
Earlier in the text, it references built-in tools to organize everything. The ClickShare AI system is essentially acting as a translation layer between the user's simple actions and the complex requirements of search engine algorithms.
interesting.
When the document mentions being listed in online directories, it's actually talking about automated directory syndication.
Okay, let's break that down for the listener. What does directory syndication actually look like in practice?
So, when you create a piece of content or update your profile on this system, you aren't just saving a file. The system's underlying architecture takes your data, your keywords, your location, your opportunity details, and automatically pushes that structured data out to dozens or hundreds of online business directories and search indexes in the background.
Whoa.
Yeah. It formats the metadata perfectly for Google's crawlers. It generates the alt text. It signals relevance to the algorithms. The user only ever experiences the simplicity of sharing one link, right? But beneath the surface, the platform is executing a highly sophisticated SEO strategy on their behalf.
So it's essentially functioning as a hidden IT and marketing department.
Exactly.
It sells the psychological ease of simplicity while secretly deploying this heavy machinery of search optimization in the background.
Yes. The system assumes the technical burden so you can focus entirely on the content and the relationship. And the result of that hidden heavy lifting is what they promise, that continuous flow of free, organic traffic.
Which brings us to the moment of truth. Let's say the hidden SEO machinery has worked. A stranger was searching for a solution, the search engine served up your platform, they clicked the link, and now they are standing inside your digital home.
Right. The traffic has arrived.
What happens next is mapped out in the document as the discovery and conversion loop. And this loop seems to be the core psychological engine that powers the entire philosophy of the document.
Yeah, the loop is where the abstract theory of attracting rather than chasing becomes a mechanical reality.
Okay.
The document deconstructs this process into 4 distinct phases. First is search. So the precise moment a user realizes they have a problem or a need and begins looking for an opportunity. Second is discover. The moment the search algorithm pairs their query with your optimized profile. Third is read and trust, the consumption phase, where they engage with your content and process that massive volume of social proof we talked about. And finally, take action, the point of conversion where they reach out, join the team, or purchase the product.
A document drills down specifically into the third and fourth phases of that loop. The language they use there is incredibly revealing.
I agree.
It instructs the user to build trust automatically. It literally claims that the combination of your content and your social proof removes skepticism before you even talk.
Wow.
Yeah. And then it leads directly into the final phase, convert without chasing. It states that interested visitors will take action and, quote, sometimes without you ever speaking to them.
Notice how those phrases completely redefine the concept of trust in a digital environment.
What do you mean?
Well, in traditional sales, or really any kind of professional networking, trust is a highly interpersonal, deeply human dynamic. It's built slowly through real-time conversation. You read the prospect's body language, you adjust your tone, you answer their objections on the fly.
All right, it's a delicate dance. You have to prove your competence and your empathy simultaneously.
Exactly. But the ClickShare AI system treats trust not as a human interaction, but as a predictable engineering output.
A predictable engineering output. That's kind of wild to think about.
It posits that human trust can be mechanized. If you input the correct variable of targeted content and multiply it by the correct variable of overwhelming in-house social proof, the guaranteed output is trust.
It's an equation.
Yes. By the time a human conversation actually occurs, if it is even necessary, the heavy lifting is already finished. The traditional chase is rendered obsolete because the platform has systematically dismantled the prospect's skepticism before they ever even hit the contact button. The human element is reduced to merely processing the final transaction.
Think about what that actually means for your daily life if you're using this system. It means the absolute death of the cold pitch.
Huge relief.
Right. For anyone who considers themselves an introvert, or really anyone who is just totally burnt out from the aggressive, extroverted demands of modern digital networking, this is the holy grail.
Oh, absolutely.
You never have to send another desperate follow-up email. You never have to brace yourself for rejection because the system acts as a digital clone of you. It delivers the perfect pitch, perfectly tailored to what the person was searching for 24 hours a day.
Right.
It never gets tired, and it never takes a non-response personally.
And a mechanism that efficiently converts strangers into trusting clients without manual effort is undeniably valuable for an individual, but, and this is a big but, the source document does not stop at individual success.
Ah, right. The multiplier effect.
Yes. The final sections of the infographic reveal that this architecture is actually designed for exponential scale.
Right. The document explicitly outlines how to scale this operation. It instructs the user to have their team duplicate the system. The team members build their own parallel platforms, they collect their own in-house reviews, and they plug into the exact same SEO machinery.
Duplication is the key.
Yeah, the document frames this as one system, unlimited impact, everyone wins.
Which is a critical pivot in the overarching strategy. The system transitions here from being a personal branding tool into a massive network building engine.
Because it's suddenly about a whole group of people.
Exactly. The underlying logic is based on replication. If this automated trust machine successfully generates organic traffic and mechanized conversions for you, the most lucrative move isn't just to hoard the tool.
Right.
The move is to teach your entire network to duplicate the exact same architecture. You're instructing them to build a fractal network of self-sustaining digital homes, all independently capturing search traffic, but all contributing to the growth of the larger organization.
And they map out this ultimate trajectory in a massive result box at the bottom of the page. It creates this compounding chain reaction.
Right, more reviews.
Yep. More reviews generated across the network leads to more traffic captured by the search engines. That traffic runs through the discovery loops, resulting in more trust and more sales. And the final, ultimate destination of this entire process is labeled simply as more freedom.
More freedom.
Yeah, they tie it all back to a final pillar, you grow it, where they state that the combination of content and reviews equals compound growth. It is pitching the ultimate passive income and passive recruitment dream. You build this highly optimized asset once, and it supposedly pays dividends forever while you sleep.
It creates a self-replicating ecosystem of optimized platforms. However, there's a catch.
Oh, what is it?
Well, the entire premise relies on a very specific assumption about the internet. It assumes that organic search traffic is an infinitely abundant, renewable resource that can seamlessly feed an unlimited number of these duplicated, automated systems without ever hitting a point of saturation.
Yeah, that is a huge assumption. Which brings us full circle to the bold promise that kick off this entire deep dive. You don't chase people. You build a platform that attracts them.
Exactly.
We have unpacked the exact mechanics of how the ClickShare AI document claims to achieve this reality. You escape the algorithm treadmill by building a centralized digital home that you completely own and control.
You weaponize human psychology by hosting hundreds of your own reviews, creating a volume-based reality distortion field that overwhelms skepticism.
Right, and you let the system's hidden directory syndication tools abstract the complexity of SEO, capturing organic search traffic with just one link. You push that traffic through a mechanized discovery loop that engineers trust before a human word is ever spoken.
And finally, you trigger exponential growth by having an entire team duplicate the identical system.
It is undeniably a masterclass in systematizing human connection and streamlining digital discovery. The mechanics are incredibly sound.
They are. But if we pull back from the tactical execution and look at the macro implications of this document, it leaves us with a rather profound question about the future of our digital environment.
Yeah, what happens when the system works too well?
Precisely. The document guarantees unlimited impact through the endless duplication of this exact system. But think about the logical conclusion of that strategy.
Yeah.
If every single person in a massive network, or eventually everyone in an entire industry, successfully duplicates this highly engineered, fully automated trust machine to capture search traffic, what happens to the landscape of digital discovery?
I mean, the internet just fills up with millions of perfect digital clones.
Right. Does the internet simply become a space where genuine, messy human connection is entirely replaced by competing automated trust platforms?
That is a terrifying thought.
If every search query leads you to a perfectly constructed, tightly controlled ecosystem designed specifically to eliminate your skepticism using psychological volume levers before you even speak to a human, how do we actually know what is real?
Wow. It's like walking onto a Hollywood movie set.
Yeah.
From the street, it looks like a vibrant, fully functioning city block, right? The cafes look real, the storefronts look authentic, and it all feels perfectly inviting. But if you walk around to the back of the buildings, you realize there's actually nothing inside. It's just a meticulously constructed facade held up by automated scaffolding, designed specifically to look perfect from exactly where you are standing.
A perfect illusion.
Yeah. And for you listening, it is something to keep in mind the next time you find yourself entirely convinced by a website's overwhelming credibility before you have even interacted with a real human being. Think about how you measure trust in your own digital life. Are you actually making an organic connection, or have you just been perfectly attracted by the scaffolding?